Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome to episode 1 of a brand new series on my channel where I hunt down, I test and I review the very best makeup that the drugstore has to offer. And we are kicking off the series with a full face of no makeup product over £10. I am so excited about this series. The whole point of me setting up this channel was to create a little community here on YouTube where we can share products, tips, advice, and I want to make sure that I'm covering products from every single price point. So when I was searching for products to use under £10, what I didn't want to do was just run out and buy any product that I could see that was under £10. So I purchased a bunch of products and I've been testing them and I want to bring you my favourites. Now some of them are already in my collection and they are complete holy grails to me. However, the majority of them are brand new products to me. And I have been completely blown away by some of the products that I have tested and that I'm going to share with you. Some of them cost £3. £3, and they are better than some of the highest end products that I have used. Now, in order to get the best out of this series, I'm going to need your help. So if there are any drugstore products that you know and use and love, and maybe they are holy grails to you, please do share them in the comments below because I will test them and I will share them with everybody else. I'm planning on focusing on one makeup category per month. So 1 month concealers, 1 month blush, 1 month bronzer, etc, etc. I'm very excited about this. Now, if you're interested in seeing videos like this on a weekly basis, then please do consider subscribing because I would love to have you here. All right, let's dive in. Okay, I've already prepped my skin with my usual routine and finished with moisturizer. I'm going to start like I always do with eyebrows. This is my favourite brow pen from the drugstore, which is the NYX Lift and Snatch. But honestly, it's too expensive. I mean, I got it for under a tenner, but it was literally just under a tenner. But I want this to be not like £9.99. I want them to be properly under £10. Now, one of my favourite pencils is the Maybelline Express Brow, and this has featured on my channel before. I think this cost me around about £5. Now, I think we know when it comes to drugstore prices that they can massively vary from store to store or online. Generally, I'll buy products on Amazon. I just use this just to fill in all the gaps, and I just find it a really creamy formula. I love it because of the fine tip. It reminds me of my favorite high-end pencil, which is the Huda Bomb Brows, something like that, and lasts probably better than the Huda, to be honest. And it's got a little spoolie on the end. As I said, I do prefer to use a brow pen, but you know, if we're gonna do makeup under a tenner, we're doing it properly. Brilliant brow pencil, like super. And I will pop all the prices that I paid on the screen. I'm going to keep hold of this and I'm going to go in with my holy grail brow product. I use this every single day and it is the e.l.f. Brow Lift. It's basically just a gel formula, as you can see, well used, and I already have my backup. I literally could not live without this. I used to use the Anastasia version, you know, the 3 brow hairs that I have. The Anastasia just didn't hold. This holds my brows in place all day. It's fantastic. The e.l.f. Brow Lift is only £6, a steal. I just take some on the end of a spoolie and then kind of come backwards. The thing that I love about this is it doesn't leave a white cast, whereas I found with the Anastasia, it left a kind of a white residue on the brow hairs. This is just fantastic for me and actually makes me look like I've got brows when I don't have any. So that's great. The Brow Lift, a holy grail of holy grails to me. I love it. So I'm then going to go in with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. And we're just going to pop that just in my T-zone. And the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer is more on the expensive side. I find that primers tend to be just a little bit more pricey. This was £8. I'm sure you can get it cheaper. So we're starting with the eyes first, and I'm first going to prep with the Revlon Colour Stay Eyeshadow Primer. £6.14, and such an underrated eyeshadow primer. Honestly, It's fantastic. I'm definitely one that alternates between using an eyeshadow primer and not. I know makeup artists would say not to use concealer to prep for a couple of reasons. First of all, eyelids can be oily. So if you're finding that your eyeshadow is breaking up during the day, it might be because of your oily eyelids. Mine are not particularly oily, thankfully, but I do find that when I use an eyeshadow primer, my eyeshadow will definitely pop a lot more than what it does if I use a concealer. Okay, so as we let the Poreless Putty Primer do its thing, we're going to move on and do our eyes. And I was really amazed when I was looking for some eyeshadow palettes to test out and to show to you. And the one that I've chosen to go with today is the Catrice Cosmetics, the Pure Nude Eyeshadow Palette. Now, this eyeshadow palette cost me £6. And I know you might be thinking, that's a really boring colour story. But you know, for me, for everyday use, this is perfection. And I'm thinking that most of us want like everyday usable wearable shades that we can use, you know, without thinking. Catrice do a really nice eyeshadow topper, and this is one of the Catrice Art Kohl's eyeshadow, and this is in Frosted Bronze, and I have honestly been blown away at the quality of these eyeshadows. We're going to go into this light brown shade here. They might come across as a little bit dusty, but honestly they blend so well and they last so well, and with this eyeshadow primer they're brilliant. Just going to go into this slightly darker brown, use that in the crease and round. It's always handy to have a clean fluffy brush around just to buff out the edges. Then I'm going to go in with the darkest shade in the pan, and I'm just going to pop a little bit on the outer corner. See how pigmented they are? Just going to bring that, wing it out a tiny bit. Okay, so we're going to go in with the shimmer here. It looks a bit lighter on camera than what it is. It looks like kind of a neutrally brown colour, so I'm just going to take that on the lid. It feels more satin than it does shimmer. Payoff is shimmery, but it feels more satin. Before I go in with the topper, I'm just going to brighten up the inner corner with this one. And make sure I tap it off because there is just a little bit of fallout with this one. So I'm now going to go in with the Frosted Bronze eyeshadow. And I'm actually going to use this with some setting spray. The spray that I will be using today, this is by Catrice, and this is the Prep and Fine. It's the Multi-Talent Fixing Spray. It can prep your makeup and also refresh it, which I thought was brilliant. Setting spray was about £4.50. So what I'm going to do is see if I've taken it on my brush here. You can see all the bits that are ready to fall right on my face. So I'm just going to spray it with the spray. And then while it's still wet, I'm just going to take it, look at that. And because I do have, you know, more deep set eyes, I do bring that right up to my crease. It's lovely, but do be aware it's a little bit chunky, so maybe use some spray just to tone it down a little bit. Before I do my mascara, I actually picked up the Catrice Inside Kohl Kajal. It's just a nice twisty top. I'm gonna use a little bit of that just here. Now, the mascara that I'm going to use is so well known, but this in recent weeks is the first time that I've ever used it, and it's the Essence Lash Princess. I know this is such a famous and well-loved product. This cost me £3.69, and it's an incredible mascara. I have been absolutely blown away. It is quite a wet formula. I like the brush. It's kind of nice and thin, but I tend to like kind of remove the excess because I don't have the longest lashes. If I have too much product, it won't work out great. So that's just one coat, and I think it's just really good to give you length, to give you volume. I really like that mascara. I'll just quickly do the other eye. There is obviously a good reason why this mascara is a loved and well-known mascara. It's fantastic for £3. Crazy. And the mascara is just as good, if not better, than a lot of the high-end mascaras that I own. Literally cannot fault it. Definitely one of the gems that I found in my search. Okay, so I'll come back to the lower lash line in a little while, but before I do, I'm going to move on to concealer. Now I do have a drugstore concealer that I absolutely love that was £3, and that is the Collection, which is the Lasting Perfection Concealer. This is absolutely incredible, and for the price, amazing. But as I mentioned at the beginning, I kind of wanted to introduce some newer products to you instead of talking about the same ones all the time, just so that you have different options. So yes, the Collection one is absolutely superb and £3, but I decided to try one of the more popular ones, and this is the Maybelline New York Fit Me Concealer. Now the shade is a bit off. This was one of the more expensive products that I bought, and this comes in 18 shades, but when I was in the drugstore there was about 3. So it must be really popular because there was nothing left. In the description it says that skin looks perfected with this natural coverage liquid concealer. It's an oil-free concealer which conceals redness, flaws and blemishes, and it's fragrance free. I have this in the shade, I don't know, shade 20. Yeah, I suppose the only thing about the drugstore, in my opinion, is that the shade ranges need work. I'm going in with more than what I usually do with this concealer because I have been using it and I know that it is quite lightweight. I'd say that it's kind of medium coverage in my experience with it. It does conceal the majority of my under eye issues. It won't conceal everything. Clean up some of that eyeshadow while I'm at it. And what I love about this concealer is it does not sit into any of my lines. It doesn't crease. It's really nice. It feels really nice and hydrating. Would it be a holy grail of mine? No, but would it be great on my everyday rotation? Definitely. It has a really natural finish and is really flattering on mature under eyes. Okay, so complexion, I'm very excited about this one. I had done some research and found this, which is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. So on the website, it's described as a lightweight tinted moisturizer that delivers a flawless satin finish with sheer to medium coverage. Now, I think this is way more than a tinted moisturizer. I have been blown away by the coverage that this has given me. Now, this cost me £6.85 and the coverage that it gives is incredible, and the lasting ability of this is incredible. I'm not a big fan of tinted moisturizers, but I am a massive fan of this. For me, this is way more than a tinted moisturizer. It is definitely more of a light foundation for sure. And I wanted to show you this because I wanted to show you something a little bit different to the usual foundations that I slap on my face on this channel. This claims to give you a semi-matte finish, and I'd say that for me, it's more of a satin finish. The only negative is the shade range again. So I have this in the shade light to medium, and this is how it looks on my hand. So, you know, it might be a little bit too yellow for me, but when I've been wearing it, I've not felt that it's been completely inappropriate for me. I don't like squeezy tubes. I just find that I just end up pumping out so much more. This has literally blown my socks off. It feels so divine. It obviously feels like a moisturizer, but the coverage, is a million times more than that. I have seen this since I've started using it. I did look to see if anybody else was talking about it, and they are. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's probably best applied with your fingers, but I'm just not a big fan of applying complexion products on my fingers. It's just not for me. This is without a doubt going to be my go-to product for the summer. I know it is. Look at how seamlessly it blends, and that's because it is, I guess, like skincare, but we'll build it up a bit. This will never look cakey. It's just super hydrating. For the price, incredible. You can build it up and you can build it up. It's never gonna look cakey. Look at that. But obviously, in order to like this foundation, I call it a foundation, this tinted moisturizer, in order to like it, you have to like light coverage. So obviously it's not covered. I've got some broken capillaries and stuff on my nose, but I always use concealer anyway. If you're looking for something that you don't even have to think about on your face, this is the way to go. The only negative I would say would be finding your perfect shade. If you're looking for something that's light coverage, easy to work with, perfect for the summer, perfect for warm environments, you cannot go wrong with this. Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, brilliant. Just need more shades. Okay, contour I really struggled with. I tried to find a contour that was within the price point, and I just really struggled. So the only contour I have is the Halo Glow by e.l.f. I think you can pick this up for around £9. So it's very much on the higher end of our budget today. But if you're looking for a very natural contour wand, this is the one for you. Takes no effort to blend, no effort to use. It's wonderful. You're watching this and you have a favorite contour product that is under £10, can you let me know please in the comments? I would really love to hear from you. Okay, moving on to bronzer. Now this might surprise a few people. I usually avoid powder products on my mature skin, but this is so flattering, and let me tell you, staying power of this bronzer is out of this world. So this is the Rimmel London Natural Bronzer. I adore this so much. It lasts forever. It does have quite a strong fragrance to it though, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I still love it. So just tapping in, this cost me £6.30, and honestly, it is so pigmented, but it just does do what a bronzer should do. It just gives that lovely sun-kissed glow. It just makes your skin look so healthy. I love it. I reach for this regularly and it doesn't interfere. Sometimes with powder products, I feel like it can interfere with what's underneath, but this does not. It's so flattering. It really, really is. Forgot to say the shade of the bronzer. This is in 002 Sunbronze. Beautiful. Now next we're moving on to blush, and I've tried so many amazing liquid blushes. I've tried the e.l.f. Cosmetics liquid blush recently, which I really liked, but this is also super. It's Profusion Cosmetics Blush Hour, and this is a soft matte liquid blush. I don't think it's completely matte. I guess it's a little bit of a similar finish to the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty ones. I have this in the shade Rose. This cost £6. It is quite sheer. I'm just popping it in my hand, and then I'm just going to pop it onto my cheek. Now it's so natural. What I like about it is it's really buildable. Now, if you feel like you're not getting as much coverage, you can just pop it on your cheek there. It's really pretty. But this, you can use a generous amount and it will still look really pretty and natural. It's really flattering. Yeah, I love that blush. I really, really do. Now, highlight. I do love the e.l.f. Halo Glow, but I'm not going to use that today because I've used it so many times on my channel. So this was actually not that cheap. It was £8, which I think is quite expensive. It's the Lottie London Cheeky Glow Illuminating Wand. And it's a little bit like the Charlotte Tilbury. So I just squeeze it and then just kind of rub my finger on the top of it. Actually a really pretty shade. I'd say it just gives you a little bit more punch than what the e.l.f. do. I do prefer to use highlight in liquid form. I just feel like I have a little bit more control of it. Okay, I'm just gonna return to my eyes and finish them off. And I'm just going to go in with some of the Catrice eyeliner in the waterline. So lip liner, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Colour Sensational in the shade Dusty Rose. Now this, it says it's a Dusty Rose, but it actually comes out quite pink on me. But the staying power of this lip liner is amazing. This was £3.27 and I already had this in my collection. There's tons of drugstore lipsticks, but I don't find that they are that cheap, to be honest with you. Even the ones that I love, like the e.l.f. satin lipsticks, not that cheap. One that I found and that I've been testing that I really loved is from Rimmel. And it's the Lasting Finish lipstick, and this is in the colour Asia. I love this lipstick. So it does smell quite strong though. It has got quite a strong fragrance. I guess it's like a nudie, pinky brown, I would say. But I like it with this lip liner because it comes out a little bit more pink. But again, the fragrance on some of the Rimmel products, not fun. If you're sensitive to fragrance, you might not like this. The lipstick is beautiful, really like it. The Rimmel lipstick, that was £6.90. Right, we're gonna finish up with another Catrice product. And I'm sorry, can you hear the crows? Why are they so loud? Why? We're finishing off with the Catrice Plump It Up Lip Booster. So this is the applicator. It's definitely not a tingly gloss, but it's definitely very cooling. This is in the shade Good Vibrations, and it's just really nice. It's really nice kind of on its own or over lipstick. Says that it's with menthol. That's what you can feel on the lips. It's the menthol. There's nothing there that's hurting or, you know, massively tingling. It's really nice. Now, powder wise is one that I do have in my collection, and it's e.l.f. Halo Glow. I had to be really careful in this video not to just be using e.l.f. That's why I've tried to find lots of new products. I like this powder. It's fine. I don't love it. I couldn't really find a powder that I found really amazing reviews for that I wanted to share with you. So if you do have a powder, this is £8. If you do have a powder that you can share, please do. I'm just gonna pop that under the eyes, just really lightly. And just take some of this shine off. And then we are going to finish off with the Catrice Multi-Talent Fixing Spray. Woo! A lot comes out of that. It's great. So there we have it, a full face of makeup with no products over £10. So just a quick word on my favourite products that I've used today. So there are certain products that I use every day, such as the e.l.f. Brow Lift. I really love the Rimmel Bronzer. They are staples in my collection, but new products that I've absolutely been wowed by. The Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. You are a foundation. I don't care what anybody says. This is fantastic. And I'm gonna say something controversial now. If I had to pick between the Wet n Wild and the Hourglass, I'm picking the Wet n Wild. Sorry. The price difference is absolutely ridiculous, and yes, the Hourglass is luxurious, but the Wet n Wild is affordable. It gives amazing coverage, makes the skin look really evened out, and it's not a glowy complexion, but it's not super matte either, and it lasts really well. So if you're looking for a perfect everyday foundation, but you're not wanting to go out and break the bank, this is a really amazing option. But yes, light coverage, but you know, we don't always need super full coverage, do we? You can get your hands on it and get your correct shade, give it a whirl. It's really good. Really, really love the mascara. £3. Like what? This will definitely be a staple in my rotation now. This, along with the most recent one by e.l.f. that I tried, the Lash extender. Absolutely brilliant drugstore mascaras. You do not need to be spending £30-40 on a mascara when there are, you know, mascaras like this and like the e.l.f. knocking around. They are brilliant and they perform so well. You know, there's no smudging, no transferring. I've had no issues with any of the drugstore mascaras that I've tried recently. They've been brilliant. And the makeup palette by Catrice. Is it a little bit dusty in parts? Yeah. Do you get a bit of fallout? Yes, you do. But I get fallout with my highest priced palettes. The mattes aren't as smooth and buttery as, you know, my high-end palettes, but do they do the job? Yes. Was this palette £6? Yes. Would I pick it up again and use it on a daily basis? Absolutely will do. I think the colour story is amazing. I've seen other palettes with beautiful colour stories that I will be picking up. I actually did pick up another Catrice palette, the Slim eyeshadow palette, and I think this was also £6. The formulas are really lovely. The payoff that you get, you really can't ask for more for the price, honestly. They've got so many products now that I want to try. I could have done a full face of Catrice, to be honest, and I would have been quite happy with that. Lump It Up lip gloss, love this. The Rimmel lipstick, brilliant. Yeah, so many amazing products that I've tried today and that I will continue to use. So there will be an episode per month on the drugstore. So I really want to find the best concealers, the best foundations, the best bronzers, etc., etc. I need you to help me find them. So if you have a concealer that you've used for years, a blush that you love, a primer from the drugstore, they don't have to be under £10. If you have any drugstore products that you love and use every day and that are holy grails to you, let me know in the comments, because I would love to focus on a different product every month. So 1 month concealers, 1 month foundations, so that we can get the best out of the drugstore, because, you know, we don't always have to reach for high-end products to get the best performance. There's so many amazing products, and that just proved it. You know, nothing on my face cost over £10, not even £9, no. And I'm really happy with the outcome. Okie doke, thank you so much for joining me for another video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video, but until then, take care and bye for now.